This is the most important battle you will ever fight. It isn't against others, and it isn't against your circumstances. It is against your own fears, your own doubts, and your own limitations. Who will win this battle? The you who gives up or the you who rises? Listen closely. Life owes you nothing. The world does not stop because you are tired. It does not feel pity because you are in pain, and it definitely will not reward you for doing the bare minimum. If you are waiting for someone to come and save you, stop right now. No one is coming. This is a fight you must fight alone. You are your own enemy. It's not the economy. It's not your boss. And it's not your friends or your family. It is that voice in your head that tells you, I can't, I'm not enough. It's not worth trying. That voice is the enemy you must crush. Look in the mirror. There stands the man who holds the key to your success and also to your failure. That man can be your greatest ally or your worst adversary. Every decision you make, every thought you harbor, every action you postpone feeds one of these two versions of yourself. The winner or the loser? Which one are you feeding today? The problem is that you have allowed yourself to be weak. You have let fear, doubt, and laziness move into your mind as if they own the place. You have become a prisoner of your own excuses. Do you know what that means? It means that every time you don't demand more of yourself, you are betraying yourself. You are betraying the man you could become. Because yes, there is a stronger, braver, and more determined man inside of you, but you will only meet him if you have the courage to face your own demons. Do you want the truth? Life is not designed for the weak. This world does not forgive those who quit. It does not wait for those who doubt, and it does not reward those who hide. It is a battlefield, and every day you wake up is an opportunity to prove who you are. But here's the trick. You aren't competing against anyone else. It doesn't matter what others do or have. The only thing that matters is what you do with yourself. Every time you decide to stay in bed instead of getting up early to work on your dreams, you lose. Every time you let the fear of failure paralyze you, you lose. Every time you choose momentary pleasure over long-term sacrifice, you lose. And the worst part is that every defeat in this battle moves you further away from the life you could have. But there is hope, and that hope is you. You have the ability to change the course of your life at this very moment. Yes, it will be hard. No one said it would be easy, but what is harder? The sacrifice of getting up every day and giving your best, or the pain of reaching the end of your life full of regrets? Think about it. Which do you prefer, the effort or the regret? This is the battle of you versus you, and there is no middle ground here. You either win or you lose. Every decision, no matter how small it seems, adds points to one side or the other. When you decide to take action instead of procrastinating, you win. When you decide to learn something new instead of wasting time, you win. When you choose to move forward, even though you are tired, even though you are hurting, you win. This is how strong men are forged. Through the small daily victories that accumulate until they become great triumphs. Do you know why so many people fail? Because they give up too fast. They face a little resistance. They feel a little discomfort, and they think it's not worth it. But I want you to hear this. Pain is your teacher, not your enemy. Every time you suffer, every time you push yourself beyond what you thought possible, you are growing. You are breaking your limits. You are building the man you deserve to be. Look at yourself closely. Is this the man you want to be for the rest of your life? Is this the man your children, your friends, or even your own reflection in the mirror would admire? If the answer is no, then do something about it. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now, because every second you waste is a second you can never get back. Every day you choose not to give your best is a day that will never return. Yes, it's going to hurt. Yes, there will be days when you want to quit, but that is when you must remember that the strongest men are born in the darkest moments. The stars shine brightest in the darkest night, and you can shine too, but first you have to walk through the darkness. No one is going to hand it to you. Every victory, every dream, every achievement requires you to earn it with sweat, tears, and sacrifice. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep feeding the weak version of yourself? Are you going to keep making excuses and waiting for things to change on their own? No more. Today is the day you take control. Today is the day you look at that reflection in the mirror and say, it's over. Today I am in charge. Today I decide to be unstoppable. Get up. Fight, Win, because this battle isn't just for your dreams, it's for your life. Every day is an opportunity to choose who will win the battle. What are you going to do? Are you going to keep being the you who complains, who makes excuses, who waits for things to change by themselves? Or are you going to become the you who fights, the you who decides to move forward no matter what the cost? Because let me tell you something, no one is coming to rescue you. Life is not a movie, and you are not the protagonist of some fantasy where everything is solved magically. You are a man in this real, cruel, and ruthless world where only those willing to bleed for their dreams actually achieve them. Yes, bleed, because everything worth having has a price. And if you aren't willing to pay that price, then prepare to live a life of mediocrity, a life where you will look back and ask yourself, why didn't I try? Why did I give up so easily? It is only you versus you. That is the true battle you define every day. It's not about your boss, your parents, your partner, or your friends. It's not about the world around you. All of those are distractions. The real fight is inside of you, between the weak version that wants to quit and the strong version that knows it can achieve everything if it sets its mind to it. Which of those versions is going to win today? Because every action you take, every decision you make, feeds one of them. Are you going to give more power to the you who complains, to the you who finds excuses, to the you who always says, I'll do it tomorrow? Or finally, are you going to give a chance to the you who doesn't quit, to the you who fights even when exhausted, to the you who rises even after falling 1,000 times? Today is the day, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things are easier. Because I'm telling you right now, things will never be easier. If you are waiting for the perfect moment, you are going to wait forever. The perfect moment does not exist. What exists is this instant, this precise second in which you decide if you are going to be a spectator in your own life or if you are going to take the reins and fight for what you want. Because listen well, no one owes you anything. The world does not owe you success. It does not owe you happiness. It does not owe you recognition. You have to earn all of that. And you won't earn it by complaining. You won't earn it by postponing your dreams. And you won't earn it by sitting around waiting for someone to come and give it to you. The man you want to be is right there, inside you, waiting for you to set him free. But that man will not reveal himself if you keep feeding your excuses. That man will not rise if you keep living in comfort. Comfort is your worst enemy. Do you understand? It numbs you. It weakens you. It makes you believe that it's okay to stay where you are. But it is not okay. It's not okay because you know you can be more, that you can have more, that you can do more. Why do you settle for less? Why do you allow fear and laziness to rob you of the life you could have? Yes, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot. There will be days when you feel you can't take any more. Days when you want to give up. Days when you wonder if all this effort is worth it. And I'm gonna tell you something. Yes, it is worth it. Every drop of sweat, every tear, every sleepless night is worth it. Because when you get to the other side, when you see what you've achieved, when you realize that you defeated the weak you, the you who wanted to quit, you will know that all the pain was necessary. But that victory won't come on its own. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to get up every day as if your life depends on it, because in reality, your life does depend on it. Every day you waste is one day less to achieve what you want. Time is not your ally if you waste it. It is your enemy. And I repeat, no one is going to come and save you. This is your fight, and only you can win it. So look in the mirror and ask yourself, is this the man I want to be? Is this the legacy I want to leave? If the answer is no, then stop waiting and start acting. Stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. Yes, it's going to be hard. No one said it would be easy, but easy things aren't worth it. Easy doesn't take you anywhere. Easy is the path of cowards, of the mediocre, of those who quit. And you are not one of them. You are a warrior, you are a fighter, but you will only be one if you decide to be. Today is the day you change your life. Today is the day you decide to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the master of your destiny. Today is the day you look at fear, doubt, and laziness and tell them, you no longer have power over me. Today you choose to win, because it's only you versus you, and this is a fight you cannot afford to lose. Get up, fight, win. Self-criticism is the most powerful weapon in the battle of you versus you. But do you have the courage to use it? Look at yourself deeply, without filters, without excuses. Are you really the man you say you are? Are you living as you should, or are you settling for crumbs while inventing excuses to justify why you aren't where you want to be? Do not lie to yourself. That is the worst kind of betrayal. When you look in the mirror and tell yourself everything is fine when you know it isn't. When you play the victim of your circumstances instead of accepting that it was you who didn't do what was necessary. You are destroying yourself. Self-criticism hurts, yes, but it is a necessary pain. It is the scalpel that cuts away the lie and exposes the truth. And only by facing that truth can you change. Stop blaming the world. Stop blaming your past, your parents, your friends, your boss. Guilt serves no purpose other than keeping you in the same place. If you have failed, accept it. If you are weak, recognize it. If you haven't done enough, admit it. That doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you real. And reality, however harsh it may be, is the only starting point for change. But admitting your mistakes is not enough. It isn't enough to know that you are weak, that you are failing, that you are falling behind. What are you going to do about it? Because if all you do is lament, then you are condemning yourself to a life of mediocrity. Self-criticism without action is worth nothing. Nothing. You have weaknesses. I know it, and you know it too. We all do. But here's the difference between those who win and those who lose. Winners face them, losers hide them. Winners aren't afraid to look at themselves and say, this isn't right, this has to change. And then they change it. They don't wait, they don't postpone, they don't seek validation from anyone. They do what they have to do because they know no one else will do it for them. Are you willing to do the same? Change, improve, grow, but don't talk to me about change if you aren't willing to sweat, to bleed, to sacrifice whatever is necessary to become the man you say you want to be. Change is not comfortable, it is not pretty, and it is not fast. It is a war, and you are fighting it against the man you were yesterday, against the habits that have you chained, against the thoughts that tell you that you can't. Every day is a fight, and every decision you make is a blow in that fight. Are you hitting hard, or are you letting life hit you? There is no room for complacency in this struggle. Every time you decide to ignore your mistakes, you are choosing to lose. Every time you choose to remain the same person you were yesterday, you are accepting defeat. And don't tell me you don't have time, that you don't have energy. That is too difficult. Difficult, of course it's difficult. If it were easy, everyone would do it. But here is the point. The difficult part is what transforms you. The difficult part is what separates you from the rest. The difficult part is what makes it worth it. So stop talking, stop planning, stop thinking about what you could do and do it. Start today, now, in this very moment. Because the longer you wait, the stronger the weak man inside you becomes. The man who wants you to stay the same, who wants you to stay in your comfort zone, who wants you to remain less than what you could be. Don't give him that power. Be stronger than your excuses. Be stronger than your fears. Be stronger than the weak version of yourself that has kept you trapped until now. And don't think this path has an end. It doesn't. There will always be something else to improve, something else to learn, something else to conquer. Constant improvement is an endless struggle, but it is the only struggle worth having. So don't look for rest. Don't look for a finish line where you can stop and say, I'm done. You will never be done because there is always more. But in that struggle, in that endless effort, you will find something most men never find: greatness. Look at yourself again. Look at who you are now and who you could be. The distance between those two men is the work you are willing to do. So decide. Decide if you are going to keep living in a lie, in mediocrity, in self-deception, or if you are going to take control of your life once and for all, because no one will do it for you. It's your fight. It's only you versus you. Get up, accept your mistakes, do something about it, change, improve, grow. The final victory isn't the moment you win one battle, because this war is never about a single fight. The final victory comes when you stop fighting against yourself, when you silence that voice in your head that tells you that you aren't enough, that fills you with doubt, with fear, with excuses. That is the true victory, when there are no more internal wars, when you don't need to justify who you are or why you do what you do. But listen well, that victory is not a gift. It is not something that simply appears one day while you remain the broken and lost man you are now. You have to build that victory with your hands, with your sweat, with your blood, with your will. To stop fighting against yourself doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean accepting mediocrity. It means you have reached a point where you know yourself so deeply, where you have faced all your demons, where you have shattered every excuse that once kept you trapped, that there is no longer anything to fight inside you. There are no doubts because you have proven what you are capable of. There are no fears because you faced them over and over until they lost their power over you. There are no excuses because you learned to carry your own responsibility like a true man. Do you know why you haven't reached that point yet? Because you keep running away. You keep fighting against shadows, against the idea of what you could be, instead of embracing the man you are now and facing him with brutal honesty. You keep looking for reasons not to move forward. You keep allowing the fear of failure to paralyze you. You keep letting that small, weak part inside you win the battle day after day. Enough! The final victory will not come while you keep clinging to your old habits, to your old excuses, to that version of yourself that fears growing because it knows growing hurts. Yes, it hurts, but it is a necessary pain, a pain that transforms you, that hardens you, that purifies you. When you reach that final victory, when you look back and see the path covered in blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice, you will know that every step was worth it. Because you won't just have stopped fighting against yourself, you will have learned to be yourself. Without masks, without lies, without fear. And being yourself doesn't mean being perfect. Being yourself means accepting every part of you, your strengths and your weaknesses, your achievements and your mistakes, your triumphs and your failures. It means standing before the world and saying, this is who I am. I don't need your approval. I don't need your validation because I know who I am, and that is enough. But to get there, you need to go through the fire. You need to break 1,000 times to rebuild yourself stronger. You need to learn to carry the weight of your choices, of your responsibilities, of your dreams. You need to look in the mirror and accept that everything you don't have, everything you haven't achieved is because you didn't do what was necessary. Not because the world denied you, not because others took it from you, but because you robbed yourself by not giving your best. That is self-criticism. That is responsibility. That is what will lead you to final victory. And when you achieve it, it won't be a moment of explosive glory. There won't be fireworks. There won't be cheers. It will be a deep silence, a moment in which you realize you no longer need to prove anything to anyone, that there are no more internal battles because you are finally at peace with yourself. And that peace is priceless. That peace is the victory very few men ever come to know because very few have the courage to fight themselves until the end. So, are you ready to stop fighting against the world and start fighting against yourself? Are you ready to face every fear, every doubt, every excuse until nothing remains but the truth? Because that is the only way to win this war. It isn't easy. No one said it would be, but easy things are never worth it, and you know it. What is worth it is what challenges you, what forces you to grow, what forces you to look at yourself and ask, who am I and who do I want to be? Final victory is not a destination, it is a state of being. It is when there is no longer an internal struggle because everything you are is aligned with everything you do. It is when every action, every decision, every step you take reflects exactly the man you are, the man you always knew you could be. It is when you can look at yourself in the mirror and for the first time in your life, feel pride, not for what you have or for what you achieved, but for what you are. And that, my friend, is the most powerful thing a man can experience. So stop waiting, stop running, get up and fight, because final victory isn't waiting for you. You have to go out and earn it.